Alright, so today we're doing a look forward at video games in 2025 and beyond. 2024 was a bit of a letdown. I think it's left people pessimistic about the future of games. But don't worry, I think I found some stuff to be excited for. But before we get into the big games coming out in 2025, let's talk about a smaller one, made by me. The demo for What Happens at Midnight, my action survival horror FPS, is available for free right now on Steam. You're sent to investigate the town at nightfall, and quickly you find out interdimensional forces are invading our world. Hop between worlds, meet strange characters, and survive cosmic horrors once you find out what happens after midnight. Now there will be more exciting stuff later in this list, but for now I'm starting out with Avowed. It looks alright, some of the dual wielding stuff looks cool, but it doesn't look like it's really bringing too much new to the table to get too excited for, but hopefully it will end up being good anyway. Next we have AC Shadows, and that's a lot of low expectations there. Based off the last two AC RPGs, I'm pretty pessimistic about this game. The new stealth mechanics and the grappling hook look good, but other than that, I don't really know. Now on to some more exciting stuff. Next we have Autumnfall. It seems like Fallout London, but in the countryside. There's a lot of potential here. With it being an open world RPG and having a good setting, I think this game might turn out pretty good. Next we have Wushang Fallen Feathers. Not much to say here, but this looks like it might be a pretty good Souls-like. Next we have Gears of War Edict. It's the prequel that a lot of people have been waiting for. They're bringing back the old, funner characters, and hopefully a lot of that fun that was in the series comes back. It's not necessarily the new stuff was bad, but you just sort of missed that 360 era, over-the-top fun stuff, anyway, that you associate with games like Gears of War. And hopefully it's more than just bringing the characters back, and in general the game's good as well. Next we have Perfect Dark. I don't really have any connection to the old games, but this looks like a pretty cool, fast-paced, immersive sim / stealth action game. The gameplay looks like it has a lot of potential, so I hope this turns out good. Next we have another Dark Pictures anthology from Supermassive, Directive 8020. It's a cool idea, where it's sort of like Among Us / The Thing, but in a narrative game. So I think that could turn out pretty well. Next we have Dying Light the Beast. After playing more Dying Light 2, I honestly not very excited about this game. I just ended up finding Dying Light 2 kind of boring and repetitive, and not a very interesting story, just rambles on. I haven't even technically finished it, so maybe it'll all turn around to like the last 6 hours of a 100-hour game. Probably not. Anyway, so not very excited for that. Next we have Alcahest, I don't know how to say that. It looks like a sort of cool mix between Skyrim and immersive sim type stuff, throwing barrels, pushing enemies into traps sort of stuff. Next we have FBC Firebreak. This doesn't really look like any of Remedy's other games in a bad way. It seems kind of like a cash grab to make up for Alan Wake 2's poor sales. But maybe it'll be good despite all that. Next we have an indie game called Spine. It's a close quarters fighting and shooting mix. This looks like it could be an amazing gun fu game. A lot of that 2000s action stuff I really like. I hope this game turns out really well. Next we have Ghost of Yotei. This looks very good. We haven't seen too much though. I know people were disappointed that Jin isn't returning and they're going forward 200 years, but I would rather they end Jin's story cleanly rather than have it dragged out into a mess like so many other characters have been. So I'm fine with them moving on from him. Plus now we got guns. Anyway, I've only played Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch, but they haven't given me a reason that they'll disappoint me yet. Next we have Elden Ring, Night Ring. On the surface, this kind of looks a little like a live service cash grab, and I know Miyazaki isn't that much involved with this one, but neither was Dark Souls 2, and even though that game's not as good as the other games, it's still fairly good. FromSoft hasn't made an outright bad game, in a long time. The idea of fluid co-op sounds good, and the more fast-paced movement and unique combat abilities look really fun, so I'm hoping for the best. Next we have Outer Worlds 2, and Outer Worlds 1 was a solid game, but seeing the most recent trailer made me realize that the game hasn't really stuck with me. I don't think about it that much. It also looks like in the trailer that they didn't open the worlds that much. The smaller, more linear worlds was my biggest complaint in the last one, and it doesn't look like they fixed that. I hope it turns out better than the lack of hype I have for it. Next we have Intergalactic. When it comes to Naughty Dog, I really like the Uncharted series, and controversially, I didn't really care for Last of Us that much. Whatever emotions people get out of that game, I don't. It's not like I don't like emotional games. It just doesn't really hit with me for whatever reason. I didn't even play Last of Us 2, and people, let's say, have mixed opinions on it. As for this game, there's not really much to go on, no gameplay. The aesthetics look really good. I know some people were mad about the product placement, but that is part of 80s sci-fi, but I guess they could have used product lookalikes. As for the story, we didn't even really get that much for as long as it was. It looks kind of mediocre, so that's about it for that. Next, we have Thick as Thieves. It's a good concept with a competitive multiplayer stealth thievery game. The visuals have a bit of a Fortnite flair, which contrasts with the steampunk, but overall the concept's good enough that I think it could be fun. Next we have Project Century. This is made from the Like a Dragon people, and I tried to play Like a Dragon Ishin, but I just really couldn't get into it. I don't think the gameplay really clicks with me. It's too RPG, but this looks like it's going in a way different combat direction, so maybe I'll get into this one. Next we have Steel Hunter. It looks like it has like cool robots and stuff, but is otherwise kind of a generic shooter. But also, for some reason, it also looks good. I don't know. Now we're getting into stuff that doesn't have trailers. Now, I know this one's a bit of an old meme, but Half-Life 3 has gotten some newer rumors, and obviously this would be great. Half-Life is a classic and great shooter that's always been innovative, and so it'll be really great to see this. Another thing that's gotten some new rumors that would also be great is Titanfall 3. Well, not Titanfall 3, but like a spin-off sort of game that's being kind of ambiguously talked about. And obviously, that'd be great. Respawn makes great games. I would like something new from the Titanfall universe that isn't Apex. And hopefully that will happen one day. But until then, we have Diesel Knights, which seems like they'll be bringing us wall-running, robot fighting greatness much sooner in a steampunk setting. If you're one of the few people with excess money in 2024, please support this game because I really want to play it. It'd be really great to see the legacy of Titanfall live on in some way. So that's about it for a look forward at 2025 and beyond. There's some potentially rough stuff ahead, but also some really promising stuff. Thank you to anyone who likes, comments, or subscribes. That's it.